guys, so today I have a very exciting video for you, and pretty much what I'm going to be doing is revamping my old extensions, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So first off, I have to say a massive thank you to LUSH Hair Extensions because they very kindly sent me a double wefted DIY full head set. So it's basically a hair weft, which is this one on a track basically. So first off, in case you haven't seen it, I did buy LUSH extensions with the clips attached and I absolutely loved them. I bought them myself and then I made a video, so if you want to go see that you can click here now and it will open in a new window. I reviewed it and then I thought, you know what, I'll post it to their Facebook page because it's quite useful for people who are looking to buy extensions and need honest reviews and to see what they look like. I did that and then they asked me to email them, so I emailed Anna, who was very lovely, and she suggested maybe we could do collaborations. So I asked her if I could possibly have a set of the DIY wefts to help me out with a video I want to do, and she very generously accepted and sent me these extensions for free. So that was amazing and thank you so much. As I took them out of the packaging, I was focused upon the thickness of the hair, you know, as it was single, as it was double, and I was quite impressed with it. It looked rather nice. And I also took a look at the sewing of the wefts because it's double wefted, so I wanted to see how well they've been sewn together, and I am very impressed. They do have very neat edges and they will not unravel at all, so I was very impressed with that one. And for those of you that are wondering, I did buy them in 16 inches and I will explain the reason for that in a moment. Just going to explain to you now what I'm doing. Basically, because my hair is so short and I absolutely love wearing extensions still, I am going to need a hell of a lot more hair than the normal person. Someone with hair to about here, so they've got more sort of volume, whereas mine's quite flat really. And I originally started off with a set of FoxyLocks which had been cut short, and they were okay. Those are the ones that I showed you in my first hair extension tutorial for a pixie cut, and I did say I wanted a few more. I did go ahead and buy the clip-in set by LUSH, which is the same company, in 18 inches. And then I noticed that because I used those 18 inches on the bottom and then the FoxyLocks on the top, there was a big sort of harsh line where the FoxyLocks ended to where the LUSH extensions were, and it didn't look very natural. So my idea was to use that DIY weft, attach it to the FoxyLocks so that it blends in rather nicely. That's why I got 16 inches, and I'm going to be showing you how I did that. So a method I was looking at before I got my hair cut was the micro weft, and it's basically the same things you use for micro loops if you're doing it by hand with the loop tool. Same thing but with a weft, but not in your hair because I don't want it in my hair because it would look ridiculous. It probably won't make sense till I actually show you, but this is the FoxyLocks weft that I put after, if I just pop it in really quickly, I put in after I've put in all my LUSH ones. So they end here, whereas my LUSH ones will end way down here. So it, as though I wanted to make it look like layers, it didn't work out as though I wanted it to. So I have an identical piece to this which is cut at the same length. I did a little practice last night on the same extension. So what I did was I used the what's it called? What's it bloody called? I used a micro weft method and 2 rows of that track that LUSH sent me to create this piece of hair, which I think looks and will blend a lot more. Now I never leave my extensions straight. I always put a bit of curl in them, so these will help blend, but as you can see there isn't such a harsh line. They end, I think it's about here from what I can see, and then they go into the Lush ones. But what this will do is help create the look of layers and make it much more softer than that one. So let's pop these in. The great thing about these is this method of attaching is completely temporary. You can unclamp those beads and pull it off, and if you wanted to, you could attach those wefts to clips and you have more. So it really does work out well. Right, so this is what this side looks like. Now I just want to be comparing sides. So if I bring you down a little bit, you can see. So, whereas this side ends quite abruptly here, we have this side, exact same piece of extension, just with the weft on that I used. It looks a lot more natural. Yes, it is going thin at the bottom, but remember there will be tons of extensions underneath here, making it big and voluminous and lovely. Now, you could always do this. These FoxyLocks are about nearly a year old now, so they were thinning out. Let's have a look at this one. Thinning out, look. They're not as good as they first were. And this was the superior set when I bought them. So even if you don't want to add sort of layers, you could use it to thicken them up again and just cut it to the same length. So I think it is a really good way of sorting out your extensions, and for quite a cheap price, because those Lush ones that they sent me were just over £50. Really cheap, saves you buying a whole new set of extensions, so I think it's definitely a good thing to do. But of course I'm going to show you how to do it and what you'll need. Okay, so these are pretty much everything you're going to need. These are the beads to sort of attach, which can be removed. See the bit inside there? It's kind of like, it's silicone, which means it helps stop slipping and it doesn't damage the hair. This thing here, this wooden thing, is called a loop tool. And what you would do is you would thread one of those beads onto there, put the hair through the loop and pull it round, and it just goes in, which you'll see what I mean anyway. Of course, to clamp those beads there you need pliers. These are pretty good, and they have the sort of bumpy edges which grips on a lot better, and the smooth edges don't help so much. They'll prolong the whole process and make it last a long time. So to cut the wefts you do need scissors. These are proper hairdressing ones, which I think are from Boots is what it says on there. Yep. And to help you sort of hold everything in place, bobby pins, grips are a great thing to have. So if I bring you over here, I am just going to show you the weft that I created. Now underneath here there are more of these beads, but I tried to try and hide them to get this one up as high as possible. So what I did was try and put these beads not directly underneath the clips, just so it kind of doesn't obstruct the clips and doesn't make it too bulky, then it won't sort of grip. So about an inch away, I put them in. Obviously you need them at the ends, but not at the very end, because then you'll see it. So this is the FoxyLocks track, and what you want to do is make sure all the clips are closed, and you want the side facing up where the clips are. So this would be against your head. And the reason we're putting it on that side is so you won't have a load of micro beads showing. And you just want to get the Lush weft and just measure it quite roughly. It doesn't need to be very accurate, and want to measure it so we've got a space either side of the end here and a space either side of this end. So I'm just going to cut it there. One thing I was worried about this was that the hair would, as soon as it's been cut, would shed all over the place, and I'd have to somehow seal the ends. Luckily, you don't have to do that. You do get a tiny bit of shedding. I'll show you if it comes off on here. You might get like a little sort of clump here, look, there it is, on here, which comes off. That's no big deal, that's to be expected. So if you take some grips, just sort of place it where you're going to put it, like here, Put this upwards like that and pull it up just to hold it in place and secure that where you can. This is your loop tool. It has a little loop here, look. What we're going to do is take a bead, pop, where's the bloody thing? Pop the bead on the loop and just sit it at the bottom there. And then what we're going to do is, if you take another grip or a bobby pin, you can use this edge to sort of pick up hair, which I find quite helpful. So just pull the hair through like that, just to give you an idea. And what you want to do is get some of the hair from the FoxyLocks in my case, and some from this new piece. And to just check that's worked, if you pull it, you can see that they'd both be attached. So you take this piece of hair, it's the same width as you would do if you're doing a micro loops, depends how much you can get in. So we threaded that hair through there, and holding the hair and the bead, slide the bead off, keep hold of the bead and pull this hair out of the loop. So now, as you can see, we've got that threaded on, and I'm just going to pull that right up to where I want it, secure it with my finger, and taking these pliers, all I'm going to do is clamp the bead like that. And then, as you can see, that has formed that first attachment there. So literally about 5, maybe 7 minutes later, I have completely finished that weft. And I should also mention the reason why I'm using this colour bead is because when I bought them, I thought I was going to use blonde, but you won't see them. Now, you may see little bits of them through the track on the other side. This isn't too bad. It's much better than the first one that I tried. Where's it gone? You can sort of see them a bit on the first one. There's a little bit there, but this will all be covered by other extensions anyway, so I'm not too fussed about that. But of course, try and get the beads that match your extensions, because that'll work in your favour. Now, what I want to do is add another sort of row. So I got back in with this and just measure pretty much the same length again, which will be here. Thread this, put it to one side, grab this, put that under and grab your hair like that, and then you can sort of take away some hair if you've got too much there. Like that. Fingers through the loop, grab the hair and pull it through the loop, holding onto your hair and holding onto the bead. Pull that through. It should go through smoothly. If it's not, you might have a little bit too much hair. And what I'm gonna do is just mess around with this so it doesn't overlap that one. This, and I'll clamp that there, like so. Okay. And again, repeat the process. Now I've finished that one. It does actually look a lot neater by putting them in the same place, and I'll just show you the reverse side. It's not actually too bad, considering there will be another track when it's on my head. There'll be another track about here, so that'll be covered straight off. Compared to the very first try, this is definitely getting better. As you can see, the first one's quite messy. Let's bring it down. First one's a little bit messy, but this is more of a brickwork method. Yes, definitely going to carry on with this style, but as you can see, those are the same length extensions, and the new width of just placing these on these two is nice and thick. Okay, so I sort of just laid out how my extensions look when they're kind of on my head, if that makes sense. So all of this would be curved round, and starting at the nape, I put these all as close together as I can. These are the Lush clipping sets. You can tell by the different clips. You've got 3 of the smaller ones, which goes up in size to this big one here, and these I put at the sides to hide the sort of really short pieces of hair. And then as I finished all of these, I have those 2 pieces which when are clipped in look like one big piece, and above that we've got the volumizer weft with another longer piece, as well as a shorter piece which goes on the crown of my head, and these which go at the sides, which is the 2 clip and the 2 ones, just to give it a really nice sort of layered effect. So yes, the ones that I ended up doing the micro weft technique on are just the FoxyLocks. So if we move the Lush ones out the way, you can see they've all got a double track on there, and on there, and here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just on 5 of them I managed to get, and I only have a tiny bit of hair left which I can't do anything with, but I'm going to show you now what they look like once they're in. Before I put my extensions in, I'm just going to give you a little sort of sneak peek at what my hair looks like before and how short it is. I am completely done, and all of my hair is in and styled and lovely, so I just bring it down. I really like how it turned out today. It definitely looks so much better with the added sort of added wefts from Lush. So remember, if you are trying to save your old extensions, or they're a little bit thin and a little bit rubbish like my FoxyLocks, you can always go to Lush, get a really cheap weft for what it is, and attach them using a temporary method, and you are good to go. And in the future, maybe if you want to bin your old clip-ins, sew clips onto those wefts, and you're good to go. So that is pretty much all from me today. I hoped the tutorial was easy to follow and that you liked how it turned out. If you want to see how my extension looked sort of without the wefts, then just check back to my older videos and you'll see what I mean. But this I absolutely love. I am well and truly happy with my extensions now, and there are no more going in because I actually don't think any more are fit in. But links to the Lush website and their Facebook page will be down below. Again, thank you to Lush for supplying me with the DIY weft so I can give you guys some tips. And I think that's everything from me. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!